Imagine, for a moment, a world without spoken language. No words to comfort, no sentences to warn, no names to call out into the dark. Just silence broken only by the crackle of fire, the cry of an infant, or the rustle of wind moving through tall grass. For our early ancestors, this was reality. They lived in a time before speech as we know it, and yet, somehow, they found ways to share their thoughts, fears, and dreams. They spoke a language older than words. Before there were alphabets or scripts, before there were songs and stories, there were stones. Stones that had been chipped and shaped, sharpened into tools. Stones arranged in circles around fire pits. Stones piled high to mark a place of importance. Every stone was a message, every placement an act of communication. And in this way, humanity began to craft a language of objects, gestures, and signs. Think about the first time one human passed a sharpened flint to another. In that small act was an entire conversation. It said, asterisk, this is how you survive. This is how you cut the hide, how you slice the meat, how you shape the wood. This is my gift to you, and through it, you'll live another day. Without words, meaning still flowed, carried in hands and eyes, and the shared labor of survival. Over time, our ancestors began to refine this silent communication. Their bodies became instruments of meaning. A nod might signal safety. A raised hand could warn of danger. A glance toward the horizon could carry the urgency of asterisk. Look, there, movement in the grass, be ready. Long before language, humans developed an extraordinary ability to read intention, emotion, and story in the smallest flickers of expression. Anthropologists believe that this skill, our sensitivity to gesture and facial movement, was one of the first steps toward the evolution of language. After all, cooperation was essential. A single human, isolated, had little chance against predators or the harshness of the elements. But a group that could coordinate, even without words, could hunt together, defend themselves, and share resources. It was communication, more than strength or speed, that allowed us to thrive. Imagine a hunt on the savannah. One figure crouches low, scanning the horizon. Another raises a finger to their lips, urging silence. A third points, not with words, but with the arc of an arm, showing where the herd has moved. In those moments, the body spoke volumes. Every gesture was a survival strategy, a line in an unwritten script performed again and again. But humans were not content with only the immediate. We have always been storytellers. And so, our ancestors began to leave marks on the world that reached beyond the moment. Consider the cave paintings in Lascaux or Chauvet, deep within the limestone chambers of France. Horses, bison, deer etched and painted with care. These were not idle decorations. They were messages across time. Perhaps instructions for the hunt. Perhaps an honoring of the animal spirit. Perhaps a way to gather the group around a shared vision of the world. Whatever their purpose, they were among the earliest evidence that humans could give meaning to symbols, could share not just the present moment, but ideas that stretched into the future. Language, then, did not begin with words. It began with meaning, with marks, gestures, and patterns that carried significance. And slowly, over tens of thousands of years, those marks and gestures began to grow more abstract. A line drawn in the dust became not just a line, but a sign. A carved figure became not just a figure, but a representation. Eventually, sounds became attached to these signs, and those sounds became the seeds of spoken language. But even as speech evolved, the language of silence did not disappear. It remains with us. Think of how much you can say with just a look. The raised eyebrow that says, asterisk, really? The smile that says, asterisk, I understand? The hand that reaches out, offering comfort when words feel clumsy or inadequate. These are echoes of our earliest form of communication. Proof that our bodies remember what our voices sometimes forget. And if we look carefully, we can still see how this ancient skill shapes our societies today. Consider a courtroom where the body language of a witness may reveal more than their words, or a negotiation where the subtle lean of a posture can signal power or vulnerability. Even in daily life, so much of our connection relies on this unspoken language. A parent can quiet a child with nothing more than a glance. Friends can dissolve into laughter without saying a word. Lovers can share an entire conversation in silence. In many ways, our survival as a species depended not on the strength of our arms or the sharpness of our tools, but on the depth of our ability to understand one another beyond words. Language, when it finally arrived, did not replace the skill it built upon it. The human voice became another instrument in the symphony of meaning, layered over the gestures, the looks, the marks that had carried us for millennia. And what is most remarkable is that this early foundation of communication shaped more than just survival. It shaped our humanity. To share meaning is to recognize the mind of another. It is to say, asterisk, I see you. I know you think and feel as I do. This capacity, known as theory of mind, may be one of the very things that set us apart from other species. We were not just reacting to the world. We were sharing it, reflecting it, and weaving our individual lives into a collective story. So the next time you raise an eyebrow in surprise, or comfort someone with a touch, or share a glance across a crowded room, remember, you are speaking in one of the oldest languages known to humankind. Older than words, older even than song. A language carved in stone and painted on cave walls, carried in the flicker of firelight and the silence of the hunt. The language of stones, of gestures, of unspoken meaning is still with us. It is a reminder that communication is not just about sound, but about connection. It is about reaching across the space between us and saying, in whatever way we can, asterisk, you are not alone. I am here with you, asterisk. And perhaps that, more than any word or story, is the true foundation of our humanity.